Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Julie Lee and we're here to do the energy reading for the week ahead. You can find out more about what I do in the description box below, and if you do like what you see, please subscribe, like, comment, and just means that you'll get notifications when new videos are published, and also it'd be great to hear from you. Okay, so let's get started with this week's energy reading. So I'm just going to shuffle the tarot deck. So let's see what's in store. Oops, okay. Cards want to jump out. Alright, let's see. I think this one wants to come out. Let's see what else. Oops, and there's another one. Okay. And then, oops, oh, okay. I think I'm going to take the Death card because that's the one that's just a bit obvious, and I'll just leave this one here as well. I did forget, well, I did not that I forgot to mention, but I did didn't mention that Mercury retrograde is coming up. And so we're in the shadow period now. So what that means is Mercury generally rules like communication, transport, technology, those types of things. And so when the planet goes retrograde, which means that in comparison to the planet Earth, the speed, it starts to slow down its speed, and so it just means that these areas can be impacted. And so you might just find that either, you know, your technology starts playing up, or you know, having maybe some conversations that are a bit challenging, or you know, issues with transport. And generally quite often what I see in my life as well is the return of certain just different people that maybe haven't seen, heard from in a long time. They suddenly start coming in again for some reason. It's just kind of like a quick hello and then they leave again. Well, that's been that's been my story. So anyway, just wanted to mention that because it's just really about being aware, and you know, when situations arise, especially with regards to communication, just paying attention and not just being careful about what you say, because sometimes it's just important to speak your truth from your heart. And when you do that, then you know, it can only be a good thing. But when we speak from that place of anger, frustration, you know, generally the other person feels that, and so it's, you know, it's hard to receive messages when it's directed in that manner. So I just wanted to just mention that, because I think that I'm already feeling that type of energy. So you know, I'm sure it will start to be felt by everyone else. Either it is already being felt or it will be. So just want to give the heads up. Okay, so let's get back to tarot and our energy reading. So at the bottom of the deck we've got the Six of Pentacles, and you know, this is about, you know, balance, things coming back into balance, but in almost like a physical way, financial way, because the pentacles represent the physical. It can represent our finances or things like that. So for me, and you can see that you've got someone who probably is wealthy giving to people who are probably not as fortunate. So it's just about things coming back into balance, whether it's financially, whether it's just in a physical way. You might see yeah, just that balance coming back. So that's at the bottom of the deck, and is that the theme, or part of the theme for this week. So I'll just put that down here. That's along. So the first card that popped out was the Sun card, which in the tarot deck is a great card. It's, you know, you look at it and you feel happy. You've got this baby riding on a horse. He or she looks really happy. You've got sunflowers, you've got the sun shining. And so this is just, I feel, highlighting the good that we have in the world. also that, I guess, that masculine energy, or that action orientated energy that is moving us forward. And so perhaps if you haven't been active in some way towards one of your goals or towards what you want, there's something about moving towards that and taking action that will lead you to that place of actually being fulfilled, being happy. Yeah, just being in that golden, joyous space. So moving on to the next. So now we've got the Seven of Cups, and so the Seven of Cups can represent dream state or illusions, those type of things, because the cups represent our emotions. So there's something about just being aware of anything that perhaps we may be, I want to say deluding ourselves, but like, especially with this Mercury retrograde period coming up, there may be things that aren't as they seem. And so, when you're coming to, I don't know, signing contracts or things like that where you're committing to something, it's good to really make sure that it is what you want and it's clear, and you've got yourself covered basically, and not to fall into that illusory space. It's just something about, for me, I'm feeling like getting your feet firmly planted on the ground if you're having to make decisions or trying to figure out, because here you've got lots of different options, and which way do you go? So don't make hasty decisions. Just take your time in really considering what it is that you need or want to do. And then we've got the Death card, which if you're new to tarot, doesn't represent the death of anyone at all. It's more just transformation. It's about the ending of one cycle and the beginning of a new. So like, this is something that I think we've all been experiencing on a very deep level. We're letting go of things that no longer serve us, so that we can enter a new phase in our life. You imagine that you still have old thought patterns, old beliefs, old stories that you keep telling yourself, and you try to bring that into a new phase in your life. You just carry that across. So it's about saying goodbye in a good way to the old way of being, or whatever phase that you're leaving, so that you allow the proper ending and the proper entry into the new phase of your life. So I just want to see what. Okay, so the other card that came out, flipped out, but it's almost standalone, is the Four of Wands. And this is, for a lot of people, about, it's a very positive card. You can see that there's harvest, that people are celebrating, things like that. So it's very interesting. And it also can represent union as well, with a couple, marriage, those type of things. But also I feel it's union within ourselves. So I'm just going to just take a few moments just to bring it all together. So I just described the different cards, but bringing it all together, it's about coming back into balance. I feel bringing balance back into your physical world. So if in some way, perhaps you're overwhelmed, or there's a situation in your life which you haven't yet maybe dealt with, then it's time to deal with it, and so that you can bring more balance into your life. And this bringing the balance will be very positive, It's about taking action in the right, well, I say in quotation, right way, but not being deluded by your illusions or something that isn't really real. It's about taking steps towards what you really want, and not staying in your headspace, but really going into your heart and feeling into what it is that you want and bringing balance to that. And during that process of bringing balance, we're often having to say goodbye to an old phase of our lives, or old stories, old beliefs, and that can be hard. So it's also about being gentle with yourself and kind with yourself, and giving yourself the space to really give it the attention it needs, this ending, because a lot of the time people don't do that. They just enter into the new phase without thinking about what they've left behind. But for me, this is a really important part of the process. If you're wanting to move forward into a new beginning of some sort, just make sure that you give that old, what you're leaving, that time, that recognition, that acknowledgement, so that you can move into the future with ease and with joy, really, and all the possibilities that you want. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Just focus on the areas that are requiring some balance in your life and move forward with that, knowing that it's a positive move, knowing that it's in your heart space, and letting go of anything that no longer serves you in a loving way. So thanks so much for listening and supporting my channel. And if there's anything that any other questions, or if you'd like to comment, please do. I'd love to hear from you, and I shall see you at the next reading. Bye.